The Book of the Damned, by Charles Hoyfort, Chapter 7K. Science Gossip, 1886, page 238. That small snails, of a land species, had fallen near Redruth, Cornwall, July 8, 1886, during a heavy thunderstorm. Roads and fields strewn with them, so that they were gathered up by the hotful. None seemed to fall by the writer of this account. Snails said to be quite different to any previously observed in this district. But, upon page 282, we have better orthodoxy. Another correspondent writes that he had heard of the supposed fall of snails. That he had supposed that all such stories had gone the way of witch stories. That, to his astonishment, he had read an account of this absurd story in a local newspaper of great and deserved repute. I thought I should for once like to trace the origin of one of these fabulous tales. Our own acceptance is that justice cannot be in an intermediate existence, in which there can be approximation only to justice or to injustice, that to be fair is to have no opinion at all, that to be honest is to be uninterested, that to investigate is to admit prejudice, that nobody has ever really investigated anything, but has always sought positively to prove or disprove something that was conceived of, or suspected, in advance. As I suspected, says the correspondent, I found that the snails were of the familiar land species, that they had been upon the ground in the first place. He found that the snails had appeared after the rain, that astonished rustics had jumped to the conclusion that they had fallen. He met one person who said that he had seen the snails fall. This was his error, says the investigator. In the Philosophical Magazine, Volume 58, page 310, there is an account of snails said to have fallen at Bristol in a field of 3 acres, in such quantities that they were shovelled up. It is said that the snails may be considered as a local species. Upon page 457, another correspondent says that the numbers had been exaggerated, and that in his opinion they had not been upon the ground in the first place, but that there had been some unusual condition aloft comes out in his observation upon the curious azure blue appearance of the sun at the time. Nature, Volume 47, page 278. That, according to Das Wetter, December 1892, upon August 9, 1892, a yellow cloud appeared over Paderborn, Germany. From this cloud fell a torrential rain, in which were hundreds of mussels. There is no mention of whatever may have been upon the ground in the first place, nor of a whirlwind.